The World Cup quarterfinals is here, and as each round goes by, history continues to be written. But hey, why don't we try to predict history? Hi, if you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV, and welcome to our ultimate quarterfinals prediction. Today we're going to try to predict every single quarterfinals match, and I will be giving you my reasoning. So let me know in the comment section down below, what are your predictions for the 4 quarterfinals matches. Also, I will be adding timestamps on this video so you can skip to a specific match prediction that you want to see, and towards the end of it, I will go through the full bracket. Make sure also to smash the like button, as we are trying to hit over 1,000 likes for this video so we can do previews for the semifinals as well. Okay, so that's all I had to say. You can drop your comments, smash the like button, do whatever you like. Okay, whatever you like. I don't force you to do anything. This video is brought to you by BetOnline, but more on that later. Let's play the intro and let's go to match number 1. Match number 1 is Argentina versus the Netherlands, which, by the way, we will be doing a live watch along for this match this Friday, but let's talk about what do I expect from it. So look, right away I want to make this clear. This is a 50-50 match. It can go either way. We are reaching stages of the competition where the talent gap is minimal, and this is one of them. Personally, I think Argentina has a bit more talent, but the Dutch have a better coach, a more proven coach. Louis van Gaal out-coaching Scaloni is much more likely to happen than the other way around. But then, Argentina also has Lionel Messi. If you give him enough time and space, he will punish you. We've seen this throughout the World Cup, and throughout his career, obviously. Now, Netherlands looks solid, not many weaknesses to exploit in this team, and Louis van Gaal knows exactly what he's doing. That defense with Virgil van Dijk, Ake, Timber, and sometimes De Ligt looks rock solid. Up top, they rely mostly on Cody Gakpo and Memphis Depay to get it going. They were able to take out the United States in the round of 16 with great attacks in transition through the flanks. Now, that specifically should not work against Argentina, so they're gonna need a different game plan. Now, Argentina gets here from the round of 16 after they defeated Australia 2-1 in a very tight score, but let's not kid ourselves about that result. If Lautaro Martinez was not doing his best 2014 Higuain impression in front of the goal, Argentina could have scored another 1 or 2 goals and the game would have been much more elastic to score. Plus, Australia's goal was a bit lucky. However, I do want to give props to Australia for putting up a fight against an Argentina side that was far more talented. Now, I do like the double pivot midfield that Scaloni has been putting out with Enzo Fernandez and De Paul. I think they complement each other much better than De Paul with Paredes. Julian Alvarez has looked good. Emi Martinez, their goalkeeper, has been very ball secure. Now, the question here is, Di Maria being fully fit will play a big role. Papu Gomez and McAllister are very good, but they haven't convinced me in this World Cup that they can have the same impact as Angel Di Maria. Di Maria was rested against Australia, but he should be good to go this quarterfinals. Then obviously there's Messi with 3 goals and 1 assist so far. He is that guy that if given the right day and the right time and everything, he can take you down single-handedly despite being old. He still has it. I'm going to say this match will end on a draw, and I will have Argentina advancing on PKs mostly because of Martinez. Really, this can go either way, and I wonder if Louis van Gaal will make another goalkeeper sub if it goes to penalty kicks like he did back in 2014. So my score for this one will be Argentina 2, Netherlands 2, and Argentina advances on PKs. The next match we're going to talk about here is England versus France. So look, this matchup, just like I said about the previous one, it's very balanced with a slight advantage to France, in my opinion, in terms of talent. The main concern here, if I was an English fan, is how they deal with Dembele and Mbappe down the flanks. The left side with Maguire and Sean, the left side of their defense, can really struggle with all that pace. Plus, not just that, Mbappe is a problem, period. You cannot leave much space in behind, and honestly, England does at times. England's best bet is to sit deep when defending, and I'm not saying play a low block the entire game and don't attack. Just play it safe and don't let France hit you in transition. I mean, Mbappe already has 5 goals and 2 assists in this edition of the World Cup. Don't give him the field. But it's not just England's defense that has to watch out. France's defense has to watch out as well, because England can be very dangerous with their front 3. To me, the real threats from the English side are Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Saka, and Foden. Now, sure, Rashford and Sterling have their moments, but those 4 can make your life chaos. And I don't know if Foden will start. Maybe Raheem Sterling will be back, and he's definitely Southgate's preferred choice. But I do think Chouameni and the French back line can hold their own against them better than the English back line against the French forwards. France's A team has looked good all tournament long. They only lost to Tunisia playing with the reserves. Now, England has also looked good every single game outside of the United States match, which begs the question, how will England look against a real contender now, the toughest opponent they faced all competition? France is far more talented, in my opinion, than the United States and a little bit more talented than England. So we'll see how Southgate adjusts if he gets things right. But I would not be very confident if the fate of my team was on the hands of Gareth Southgate. So when the tournament started, I said that England would get knocked out to the first title contenders they faced. And here we are. So I'm going to say France defeats England 2-1 in regular time. And if England does pull through on this one, they find a way to win, then I will believe that this team is not all hype and they actually are real contenders. But until then, I have France advancing with a 2-1 victory, and the current champions will move on to fight for their title. Sorry, to fight to keep their title. Match number 3 is Brazil versus Croatia, my seleção brasileira, okay? And we will be doing a live watch along here on the channel as well. Look, there are no more easy opponents in this World Cup, but to me, this is the most unbalanced matchup in the quarterfinals. It's not to underestimate Croatia, the current runners-up of the World Cup, but to me, Brazil are the clear favorites here for a few reasons. Reason number 1 is Brazil has more talent. By quite a bit, let's be honest. Listen, Croatia's midfield with Brozovic, Modric, and Kovacic can compete with Brazil's midfield. It might even be a bit better. Maybe, it's debatable. But Brazil is way above Croatia when it comes to forwards and defense. Outside of Gvardiol, that's probably their best defender, no one else would even make the Brazilian roster. Now, Croatia, another problem they're going to have, reason number 2 here, is they might be fatigued. They might be tired. While Brazil should be extremely well rested for this match. Croatia had to play their starters for every single group stage game, plus extra time and PKs against Japan, while Brazil was able to rest all of them in the last group stage match, and Brazil cruised past South Korea in the round of 16, being able to rest many of their players. I also do have to mention that many of the Croatian players are old, so fatigue will be a problem. Modric and Perisic are not young anymore, and they are crucial for Croatia. I do have to point out that Neymar is also back and looking good. He got man at the match in round of 16, and Vinicius Jr. is just complete chaos for the defenses to deal with at this point. Also, Chichi's positional play for the Brazilian national team, not allowing fullbacks to push high up the field and overlap, has not exposed Brazil's weakness, which is the fullbacks, which is not really a weakness, it's just the weakest spot of this team. So this Croatia side is not as strong as the 2018 one, and if Lukaku could finish, they would have not even made it this far in the tournament. Anything can happen. It's 90 minutes. 11 man against 11 man, but I'm gonna say that Joga Bonito will win with lots of dancing. Brazil 2, Croatia 0. But before we move on from that, because I talked about the dancing and Joga Bonito, there's one quick thing I want to talk about. The European media and mostly the British media really seem to hate at times when Brazilian players dance and they tell them to get humble. A good amount of the Brazilian players have grown up in poverty at the favelas, and yet they have to hear Europe and the British media tell them to stay humble because they dance when they celebrate. A harmless part of the Brazilian culture with the goal to just be happy, to celebrate, joy to life. All I have to say to them is just to grow up at this point. We saw this earlier in Spain when Vinicius Jr. would dance. Now Roy Keane said it also. The European pundits just like to complain. Seriously, it's time to stop. Like, what do you want? For them to score and celebrate with a handshake? Let them dance. Just knock off the nonsense. Match number 4 is probably my favorite underdog of this World Cup, Morocco versus Portugal. Now, this match to me has a clear favorite, and it's Portugal. The team has more talent for sure, but there is absolutely no way that I will count Morocco going down easily, or even Morocco being eliminated at all. The Moroccan side, led by the likes of Hakimi, Ziyech, Mazraoui, and their world-class goalkeeper Bono, has been great so far. Look at it this way. They have not let an opposition score a goal outside of the Canadian own goal. They only allowed an own goal all competition long. They tied with Croatia, they beat Canada, they beat Belgium, along knocking out Spain on PKs. Do not underestimate this Moroccan side. They have grit, they have passion, plus them replacing their manager a couple months prior to the World Cup most certainly was the right decision, and it's paying dividends right now. Now, Portugal has looked quite iffy and shaky under Fernando Santos for the most part. They've looked very pragmatic, but against Switzerland, we saw a different Portuguese side, a much better one. They looked very good against Switzerland, looked like a completely different team. They even made the Swiss defense look like Swiss cheese, full of holes. Portugal looked far more fluid with Cristiano Ronaldo benched. It seemed like they took away the responsibility of players playing for Ronaldo. Instead, they played for the team and they looked like an actual team. Also, Gonçalo Ramos scoring a hat-trick. It would be a big mistake if Fernando Santos benches Ramos just to get Cristiano Ronaldo back in the lineup. Which goes back to what we were saying before the World Cup in the prediction videos. If Portugal wanted to be a contender, Cristiano Ronaldo had to be benched and become a super sub for this team. And when that happened, they looked like a better team. And probably try to give Rafael Leão more minutes. That would probably help Portugal as well. But Ronaldo has to be benched for the remainder of the competition and come out as a super sub. So for this match, if Portugal wins, Ronaldo does not retire from World Cups yet. If Morocco wins, they become the first African nation to make it to the semifinals ever. So this is a massive quarterfinals. Look, in the knockout rounds, we are seeing talent excel. And it breaks my heart to say this because I really want Morocco to go through. My heart says Morocco, but my head says Portugal. And since I'm trying to be non-biased here and rational, I'm going to say Portugal 2, Morocco 1. I really hope I'm wrong about that one. Okay, before we wrap things up, hopefully you smashed the like button already and commenting down below your predictions. Let me go through the bracket real quick and then we'll close the episode. So on one side of the bracket, we have Netherlands versus Argentina, which I had them advancing Argentina over Netherlands, which means Argentina would be in the semifinals and they would face Croatia or Brazil. For this video, I picked Brazil, so we would have a Brazil-Argentina semifinal. For the other side of the bracket, we had England versus France, which I had France advancing, which means France would go to the semifinals to face Portugal or Morocco, which in this video, I picked Portugal. So this means that the two semifinals that we would have, if my predictions are right, are Argentina and Brazil and Portugal versus France, which would be one heck of some semifinals to watch. That Brazil-Argentina one would break the internet. And we could even have a Portugal-Argentina final, which would drive the Penaldo Pessi crowd crazy. Alright everyone, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, we will be doing a live watch along for the Brazil match and the Argentina match. We'll see you there. Don't forget to smash that like button before you go, or don't, I can't force you to do that, and comment down below your predictions. Thank you BetOnline for sponsoring this video. Use the code BLEAV on the description. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.